This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, September 26th, 2005, and this is episode number 5 for Walt Disney World Today. I'm your host, Matt Hochberg from MGMstudios.org, and today's panel includes Len Testa of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World, as well as TouringPlanes.com. Welcome, Len.
Hey, Matt.
And today we also have Mike Scopa from MousePlanet.com. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hi, Matt.
Today we're going to be talking all about our favorite places to eat all around Walt Disney World. There's lots of places to eat, and we're going to fight it out as to which we think is the best place to eat. And we're going to start with the first meal of the day, which is, of course, breakfast. So, boys, where do we eat breakfast?
Yeah, it depends. I'm not a big fan of breakfast. I'm usually, a gallon of coffee and I'm good to go. But usually I'm eating at the resort that I'm staying at. I'm grabbing whatever I can there. But in terms of character breakfast, I've always had a real good time at Ohana, which I think is a great character breakfast, certainly better than, for my money, Cinderella's Royal Table or any of the princess things. It's easier to get into. Since there are fewer people there, you generally get better character interaction. There were times I was there last January, and we actually had to tell Goofy to leave my daughter alone so she could eat her food, because there was literally no one else in the room, and the characters were just standing around waiting to entertain.
I totally agree with you about eating at the resorts, Len. I'm not a breakfast person to begin with, and the commando type mentality that I have at Disney World unfortunately comes out, and I figure if you eat at the resorts, you're saving time before going to the parks, and during the busier times of the year, it's probably one of the better things to do.
Outside of the character breakfasts, I can't think of anything that's just that compelling that would make me get up early and go somewhere. I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say, you're talking about character breakfast, and one of my favorite breakfasts used to be Donald's Breakfastosaurus at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Recently, I had an opportunity to eat there, and I was very disappointed. It seemed like over the last several years, they've changed it quite a bit. It seemed like the selection of the foods was far reduced. It seemed like the quality of the food was reduced. So that's pretty much been checked off my list as one of those breakfasts that I won't go to. One of the breakfasts that I do recommend to a lot of people, and it's one of my favorites, is the breakfast at Trails End. One of the reasons why I like it is that it's probably one of the best deals on the property.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I believe it's still $10.99 for breakfast.
Sure. I don't know what the price is, but I've eaten there too. It's actually pretty good. It's just a hike to get to.
Yeah, that's the only issue is getting there. And but if you get there, the reward is great. It's I believe it's $10.99 for adults. It's $6.99 for children. You get a really good selection of food, and if you happen to be going to the Magic Kingdom that day, you're almost there.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I've been to Trails End a couple times for dinner, and again, other than the hike, other than the time it takes to get there and the planes, trains, and automobiles you got to get on, it's really not bad. I like it a lot. Right. But you mentioned Breakfastosaurus. The thing that I don't love it. I don't think it's that good of a character meal. The thing that always bugged me about that is, like, remember when you're going through the line at Breakfastosaurus, and they give you like the eggs and the bacon and the sausage and everything, and then after you've loaded up your plates, they show you the omelet bar, where you can get your own omelet made, and you've already got this whole plate full of food. I'm like, I've been to it twice. First time I didn't know about it, so I loaded up my plate, saw the omelet bar, and just wasn't happy after that. Second time, didn't remember the omelet bar, and it just frustrated me both times. I don't love Breakfastosaurus. I know people have a great time. Back. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, shouldn't I have written this down or something?
You go back to your table, and the wife's like, "Oh, what'd you get, Len?" Food.
Same thing I got last time.
So, Matt, what was your favorite, Matt?
Yeah, my favorites for breakfast, if I had to pick somewhere, is probably going to be Crystal Palace, especially if you get it early enough where you can blow by everybody waiting to get into the Magic Kingdom. And It's great for taking photos in the morning, because it's probably the only time you'll be able to take a picture with you in the castle and not have lots of people you don't know in the background.
Yeah, true.
Let's move on to lunch, where our favorite place is to go. And I'm going to start out, and I'm going to say my vote goes to Backlot Express at the studios. Surprise, surprise. And even without the fixings bar, though, I still think it's the best value at the parks. I think they have a wide selection of food. I think almost anyone in the family can eat there. For the bang for your buck, I think it's a great value.
Yeah, I agree on the selection. I ate there in May. It was surprisingly varied. I think I had a panini. It's pretty big too. The restaurant itself is pretty big. I like the variety. They process people through very very fast. Yeah, I thought it wasn't bad. If I had to pick something in the studios, that would probably be it. Have you tried the new flatbread grill there?
Yes.
How was that?
I think it's very good for food. I like that sort of food to begin with, so let me first say that.
It's Mediterranean cuisine, right?
Yes. There's gyros and a lamb kefta sandwich, which is quite good. My only problem with it is the portions are extremely small.
I heard that too. I had we sent our reviewers the week it opened. They said the same thing.
Yeah, no man can be fed by one of those. I can tell
no
you that
man,
much.
no man can be fed.
But it's very good. But you'll have to order. You should order 2 entrees.
Give me a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich.
Wow.
What's your vote for, Len?
For lunch it depends really. I like lunch more than I like dinner. At the Magic Kingdom, I really like the noodle station. I like the food. I like Asian food to begin with. I like the variety there. If I have to eat another burger at Pecos Bills, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Every time I'm in the Magic Kingdom, usually the touring plan that I'm on puts me in Frontierland in the late morning, and it's always Pecos Bills, and I just can't eat there anymore. So I definitely like the noodle station. In Epcot, I really like the new Sunshine Season Food Festival. I think that's fantastic. If I'm in World Showcase, I really like Yakitori House. Don't really have a favorite in the studios. In the Animal Kingdom, I really like Flame Tree, and I think it's better than Tusker House. Certainly better than anything in Dinoland. So, I know in fact, I bought Mike dinner or lunch one time at the Noodle Station when it first opened.
Yeah. The last time I had a chance to eat at the Noodle Station, Len, I don't know if I had told you this, but they seem to be heavy-handed on the ginger, and that kind of bothered me. I would think that they would be very, very light-handed on any type of spices and allow the guests to spice it up the way that they would prefer to have it spiced up. So
yeah, and ginger's kind of tricky. You're gonna have to put it on the side, though, right?
Yeah. In the Magic Kingdom, I like to have a light lunch, so I'd go to the Plaza restaurant because I think you can have a really nice light lunch there. I also like to try lunch at Le Cellier, and the reason why I like it there is because it's very difficult to get a dinner reservation there, and if you happen to like the entrees that they offer, you might as well try to get a seating for lunch. And I have never, the last time I was there, I was never turned away. I remember getting a lunch seating within 15 minutes of me being there, and it's just as good as you can expect it would be for your dinner entrees, and you can actually ask for a dinner entree. For instance, they offer the 10-ounce strip steak for lunch, but you can ask for a 14-ounce cut, and not too many people realize that. So I happen to like Le Cellier for lunch. And the other restaurant, if you happen to love Italian, is the Portobello Yacht Club in downtown Disney. That's a great place to go for lunch during the week. They have very, very good prices, and the quality of the food is very good.
That leaves just one last meal, and that's, of course, dinner. What's everyone's feelings about dinner?
You really can't go wrong in World Showcase except maybe for China. And even then, it's not like it's bad, it's just overpriced.
Right.
I think there are a lot of places in World Showcase also that suffer from the overpriced problem more than the food tasting bad.
Oh, yes.
Coral Reef is an example of it's okay food, but just the prices are insane. I like Le Cellier. I know everyone else. It's a common answer, but I really like Le Cellier, both as a default restaurant, and then the menu changes so often. I'm not that impressed with teppanyaki, Mitsukoshi teppanyaki. Everybody likes it. I've got better Japanese restaurants here in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is certainly not a metropolis of Japanese cuisine. I don't think the service there is particularly good.
Right.
I don't really love it. I like Beer Garden. I think it's a good value. But also, the thing with Epcot is you're so close to the Epcot resorts, so it's nothing to hop on down to like the Yachtsman Steakhouse, which I really like for dinner too, or somewhere on the boardwalk.
Yeah, I like Spoodles on the boardwalk.
Yeah, Spoodles is good too.
What about you, Mike?
Well, if I'm thinking dinner, if I happen to be near the Magic Kingdom, I'm thinking a very, very good steak or maybe even teriyaki steak, I'm going to go to the Concourse Steakhouse for steak, or I'm going to go to Kona's in the Polynesian for teriyaki. I think those two restaurants sometimes are very
the Kona
underrated.
Cafe, yeah.
Yeah, Kona Cafe, Len. If you ever get a chance to have the teriyaki steak there, it's just really, really good.
They've got a great noodle bowl too. In fact, that's a great tip for the Magic Kingdom. I mean, if you want to take a midday break, rather than eating lunch in the Magic Kingdom, I'd go head over to the Polynesian and go to Kona Cafe.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now, I talked about Breakfastosaurus going down in the quality of their food, but there's a restaurant in one of the parks that I think has really gone up in quality of food, and that's Hollywood and Vine at the studios. I particularly think that restaurant is very underrated, and I would recommend everybody to try that the next time they happen to be in Orlando, because I think you'd be surprised at the selection. If you're into salmon, if you're into any kind of salads and stuff, I really think that Hollywood and Vine is a very, very underrated restaurant. So that's another restaurant that I always look for to eat at least once or twice when I'm down there.
Absolutely. I agree with the Hollywood and Vine. I think it's a great place. Now that the characters are gone, it's really easy to get a reservation as well.
It's actually in the, if you look at the 2006 unofficial guide, it's like in the top 4 for reader satisfaction, which is odd because it's the only buffet.
Well, of course, with all those great places to eat, there are just a few where we wouldn't even go if we were paid to go there. Which of these delectable places do we love to avoid?
How much time do we have?
I'll name one, only because not that many people go there, so I'm not going to risk offending that many people. If Bob was paying me to go, I would not go back to Spirit of Aloha Dining, the luau at the Polynesian, ever again. I saw it once. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was the food was just. The food illustrates how hard it must be to cook for 600 people at a time, because it was just bad. Everything bad. Cold, fatty, anything you don't want in a meal. The thing that amazes me, though, is how you screw up alcohol, fire, and semi-naked people for entertainment. I mean, how do you... It boggles the mind that Disney can't come up with something better there. Either for the dancers look great. I mean, they're all easy to look at. It's just the show itself drags on. The food's not that good. It's got to be near $60 a pop. It's just a complete waste of time, which is a shame because they could do so much better.
What about you, Mike?
Well, I think Len hit a nerve with me. I really have a problem when I think that the restaurant is overpricing their food. I think that one restaurant in particular. I think you agree with me, Len, is Coral Reef at Future World.
Yeah, the food's getting better, but still, I mean, it's ungodly.
Yeah, it's really overpriced, and I'm particular about seafood anyway. So that's one restaurant that I just would stay away from. The other one that I think is somewhat overrated is the California Grill up at the Contemporary. There's just something about that. We've eaten there twice. I've given them 2 chances to impress me, and I just wasn't impressed. So that's another one I just wouldn't go to. I'm trying to think if there's another one. I think there's one that I think Matt's not going to agree with, and it's Spoodles. It used to be good. The last time we were there, I just didn't like the service, and it just didn't hit me right. So I'm going to stay away from there for a while. I'll give them a chance in a couple of years. I did that with Alfredo's. I remember going to Alfredo's back in 1990 and 1992. I gave them 2 chances. Nothing happened, so I waited 10 years, and then I went back. I always give them a chance down the road.
Didn't the chef move from Spoodles to somewhere, to California Grill?
Oh, that explains a lot of things.
Yeah, the chef left a couple years ago, which, I mean, yeah, it was really, really good. It was getting lots of raves. I thought he went either to the California Grill or to somewhere at the Grand Floridian. But maybe it was Citricos.
The key is, and Matt touched upon this, it depends upon how hungry you are, too. Sometimes you will stay away from a restaurant because it's like, well, I'm not sure they can give me what I really want, and so you stay away from them. So that's a factor as well. Your turn, Matt.
I think it's not so much as bad food as it is overrated. And my vote is going to go to, well, I've got a few, actually. Len hit upon it, which is, of course, in China. full service. I think it's expensive there
Yeah,
for
I mean,
Chinese. It's Chinese food. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
and it's
it's
$25 Chinese food too. I mean, that's
yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
it's second to burgers in America really now.
You talking Nine Dragons, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
And I don't see the appeal very much of Italy, of Alfredo's.
Right.
You really got to stick to the appetizers there because I think the entrees are just average.
Yeah,
I like the appetizers are light, and they rolled out a new menu that was supposed to be lighter and more carb conscious a couple of years back. I just don't see it. I think the appetizers are a better choice.
Yeah. Well, there's good and bad everywhere in Walt Disney World.
Just our opinion.
Yeah, right. But I guess we
If
won't
we
be
wake up tomorrow and see all of our prior to seating reservations canceled or ADRs canceled.
Well, that's it for us today. This has been episode 5 of Walt Disney World Today. Be sure to visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com for all the show notes, as well as the ability to send us your comments about this podcast. As always, you can look for our new shows on Mondays and Fridays of every week. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and the not here, Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you next